Hello, everyone. I'm Sebastian Lex. I'm a product acceleration solutions architect at Amazon Web Services, and I help education and government technology customers on their AI and machine learning product development journey. I'm based in Austin, Texas, and I came to AWS from an edtech background. At AWS, I work with government and education technology companies, and I have observed a recent trends on how generative AI has taken these organizations by storm. And this is surely we've been able to, through consumer-facing applications like ChatGPT, experience the really the power of machine learning and how these models have been able to help us. And we think there is a tremendous opportunity in how businesses will use generative AI to deliver amazing experiences for their customers and employees. And we are observing how the true power of Gen AI goes beyond just a search or chatbot. We see that how it transforms really every aspect of how organizations operate. And at its core, generative AI is leveraging the latest advances in ML. Amazon and AWS have been working with AI ML for more than 20 years. It's part of really Amazon's heritage, ethos, and really of the future. And to name just a couple examples, so the paths to optimize robotic picking routes in our fulfillment centers, these are driven by ML, our supply chain, forecasting, capacity planning, or are informed by ML. So with so much potential, why is this technology, which has been percolating for decades, seen so much interest now? So it has reached really its tipping point, the convergence of technological progress and really the value of what it could accomplish. With the massive proliferation of data, the availability of highly scalable compute capacity, and really the advancement of ML technologies over time, the generative AI is really finally taking shape. So in particular, these ML innovations have made the capabilities of Gen AI really possible within the last few years. And the potential of generative AI is incredibly exciting. Let's have a look at common use cases that AI and generative AI enable for education and government organizations. So leaders in the industry are applying Gen AI to improve user experiences through capabilities such as chatbots, virtual assistants. We see a lot of activity in intelligent contact centers. We notice that the large media and data repositories offered to users are now augmented with the highly personalized capabilities. So this is common enhancement that education organizations apply to their existing vast amounts of content, and really that helps them improve guidance for their students. And the user-generated content is gathering momentum with addition of content moderation capabilities. So you can boost your organization's productivity with generative AI really through conversational search, content creation, text summarization, code generation, among others. And this use case is accelerating, I've noticed in government organizations, which really continuously pursue efficiencies across all departments. And you can use generative AI to turbocharge your production of all types of creative content, from art, music, text, images, really anything that has to do with data, animations, videos. And finally, you can use Gen AI to improve business operations with intelligent document processing, for example, with assistance, synthetic training, data generation. And for organizations like state and local governments, the burden of processing large volumes of documents is really ever increasing. So they can lessen that by automating and augmenting the workflows with these technologies. And I noticed that organizations are focused on how they can quickly take advantage of what they already have today and what's available. And this is likely to pursue their efforts in the future. So education and government technology leaders strive to really quickly begin using generative AI within their organizations to drive new levels of productivity and really kind of transform their organizations. We identified 4 important considerations to quickly build and deploy Gen AI applications. And I'll focus today on the first consideration, which is how we are making AWS really the easiest place to build with foundation models. And we've heard from our education and government technology customers, they need to build and scale Gen AI applications with using foundation models. So with Amazon Bedrock, we offer the ability to access a range of powerful foundation models for text, images, including Amazon's own Titan foundation models, which consist of 2 new large language models. And this is done through scalable, reliable, and secure AWS managed services. So beyond Amazon's Titan, we also offer in Amazon Bedrock access to foundation models from AI 21 Labs, Stability AI, Anthropic, and Cohere. And it's all accessible just through an API. So really compliance-bound customers take advantage of the security that Bedrock offers. So Bedrock supports this very unique secure customization, keeping customers' data private and secure. So customers can simply point Bedrock at a few labeled examples in Amazon S3 in our simple storage service, and the service can fine-tune the model for a particular task without having to annotate large volumes of data. We've seen success with even as few as 20 examples of data. And imagine a content editor in your organization who needs to develop a new document, let's say to source a new technology. And to do this, they provide Bedrock with few labeled examples of their curated historical documents from maybe their past initiatives. Most of the organizations keep repositories of this data. And along with that associated description of how this information should be used, and Bedrock makes a separate copy of the base foundational model that is accessible only to the customer and trains a private copy of the model. After the training, then Bedrock automatically generates effective document content, and none of the customer data is used to train the original base model. So really to sum it up, with our approach to generative AI in our Bedrock service, anything you do, any model you use through Bedrock will be in your own isolated virtual private cloud environment. You'll be always encrypted and will have the same AWS access controls that you have with any other AWS service. And again, it is built from day one with enterprise-grade security in mind. Let's switch to focus to your data. And while foundation models can be very powerful out of the box, but to be really useful for you, for your organizations, they need access to the right data sources. And your data is really your differentiator for Gen AI. And to ensure that you have relevant, high quality data to train your own model or really to customize your foundation model for your use case, you need a strong data foundation. And to build that strong foundation, you need access to all of the comprehensive set of services that account for the scale, volume, and really the variety of data sources that you need to manage. And AWS offers a broader set of tools to support the entire end-to-end data journey, from storing, querying, and analyzing data, all the way to putting that data into action to business intelligence and Gen AI. And the good news is that the investments that the education and government organizations have been already making into their data services now will serve them well for the next wave of the Gen AI. But there is one set of tools that you will likely need to add to your data foundation portfolio if you haven't added it already. So those are tools for storing and retrieving your vector embeddings. And vector embeddings are really produced by foundation models and are used in Gen AI applications to produce more relevant responses to your end users. So let's take a look at how these work. So vector embeddings are numerical representations of your text. Think of it, any data, image, audio, video data. And while we as humans understand the meaning, let's say in context of words, machines only understand the numbers. So we have to translate them into a format that's suitable for machine learning. And hence the vector embeddings and the actual data representation is used by assigning a number to a different feature of each word. Think about it like essentially mapping a word to a set of features and a set of numbers. And we can view vectors in a multidimensional space. And the powerful part of it is we can measure the distance between them. So words that are related in context will have vectors that are closer together, which helps machines essentially understand the similarities and differences between the words. So for instance, cat is closer to kitten, whereas dog is closer to puppy. And comparing embeddings in this way, the model will produce more relevant and contextual responses. So while embeddings are really not new to machine learning-based applications, their importance is growing rapidly with the Gen AI and really natural language processing. They can really superpower your semantic search for use cases, for example, like media-rich search and recommendations. And we see customers unlock that trove of value by adding the semantics capabilities on top of their existing content. And why is that semantic search so critical for these data-driven and content-driven applications? It's really the addition of context. So by adding the additional context, your data can provide the large language models really much more meaningful input. So we see customers adopt the retrieval augmented generation, the RAG technique. In addition to semantic search, the embeddings, those vectors I mentioned, can be used to augment your prompts for more accurate results to the RAG. And this really allows the model to learn on the fly. So think about providing the model just enough information to contextually learn what your task is about and provide a much more meaningful response. But really to use those vectors, you need to store them, and you will need a database with vector capabilities. So AWS offers vector database capabilities for popular services. We include Amazon OpenSearch, we have Aurora PostgreSQL, and Amazon RDS for PostgreSQL, all contain the vector capabilities. And we see customers use these to store really and search embeddings used in their ML and Gen AI applications. And really when you collocate both, when you collocate the vector with your data, now it makes easier a job on joining that data to really produce better results, more contextual, as well as it reduces data duplication. So you don't need to worry really about the maintenance when you put this in your database that already contains your data. Essentially, you lower the maintenance, versioning, licensing of a separate database for just the vector embeddings. And really, generative AI have a profound impact across more areas and across industries. So as you can see, we're really thinking about the problem bottom to top. And this meaningful approach, I think government and education organizations really need because of the complexities of their technical stack. So I have a couple key points how you can start quickly based on what we have learned with working with our customers is really to start and accelerate your Gen AI journey. We encourage you to consider first to deploy tools that are already available, like Amazon Code Whisperer, which allows you to enhance your developers' productivity by providing them suggestions. Essentially, you define a comment in your code, or you provide a snippet of code, and Code Whisperer will suggest what should the code look like, which removes a lot of that kind of very undifferentiated heavy lifting of just coding the same piece of code all the time. And by implementing that, adding it, and it comes as a free addition. You can essentially improve your developers' productivity immediately. So we strongly recommend start with existing technologies, start with Code Whisperer, and really take a look at what's possible with Amazon Bedrock. Second thing we recommend is really empower your developers and your teams to really improve their skill level. And we have various training opportunities. We have, in addition to our broader library of digital courses, on AWS Skill Builder, we have programs like AWS Academy, Restart, and Educate. And we now offer a collection of free and low-cost trainings to help people really understand, implement, and begin using Gen AI. So for example, we recently released a training on Coursera called Generative AI with Large Language Models, which was developed with AWS experts and educators like Dr. Andrew Ng from Deep Learning AI. And we also offer courses for developers using Code Whisperer, executives who want to address their business challenges, and really partners that are helping customers create Gen AI applications. And really, number three is really to work towards a proof of concept and use the help from AWS experts. And please reach out to me directly or your AWS account team so that we can help you accelerate your development. We guide customers to their generative AI journey on solving these diverse problems. And really, we help you align business and technical stakeholders. We help you build the executable roadmap. And to really sum it up, so we covered quite a few items today, but really there are key points to take away. With the wide selection of the foundation models and tools that are already available in Amazon Bedrock, the generative AI-powered services really will help you drive the productivity across your organization, and you can build purpose-built using the purpose-built ML infrastructure. You can accelerate your development process, and really, with the additional access to education and training opportunities, there's nothing stopping you from enhancing what your team is doing today and start targeting Gen AI opportunities. And there's really so much more desire to learn and really experiment with this technology. And I feel like this is really just the beginning. So I'm excited to see what you can do to really reimagine and transform your organizations, your applications with generative AI, with using AWS services. And I really thank you for your time. Please reach out, and we'd love to hear what questions you have.